Hi, everybody. Welcome to Steeltoes to Stilettos. We are back with another amazing episode. Again, I am so excited because you know how I'm carrying it. You've been watching, you've been tuned in. I'm bringing the heavy hitters, and I got another one right next to me on the couch. Without further ado, I have to introduce Miss Destinee Maree. We were just in here busting it up, chopping it up,
Like
and
good
Watt back
girlfriends.
there like 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm like, hold on, Watt, hold on. But
right.
anyway, we got this. Hi, Miss Ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. A little nervous, but I'm
You
excited.
nervous?
I am.
Why you nervous?
Okay, this is crazy, but I don't like to talk for a long time. I just kind of like to say what I got to say and keep it moving.
Okay, we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing in 15 second,
15
20 second
seconds.
clips, just like you see on
Like I
social
do.
media.
Yeah. I'm a 15, 20 second girly. When I'm feeling a little saucy, maybe 30 seconds, but yeah.
Well, just look at it like, you sitting here, we just chopping it up, busting it up with your sister. Mm-hmm. Okay?
I get that.
All right, cool. So, again, everybody, we are here with Miss Destinee Maree. I am so excited because this is another Power Pack influencer, creative, visionary, and I'm just ready for her to tell her story, for her to drop some jewels, and for us just to get into the conversation and just chat it up. So, Miss Destinee Maree, you are from where?
I am from Philadelphia, specifically Southwest Philly. If you're from Philly, you know they want you to say the exact area you're from. You can't just say Philadelphia, PA. When you're from Philly, you have to say exactly where. So I'm from Southwest Philly.
Southwest Philly representing.
That's right.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Brothers, sisters,
Oh yeah,
children.
I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother.
Are you?
Yes, I have a twin brother. I do not have biological children, but I have my fur baby Leo, and I have my beautiful stepdaughters Camille and Santana.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about who you are. Like if somebody was say who is Destinee Maree, what would you say?
Destinee Maree is a dreamer, a huge go-getter, someone that if I was you, I wouldn't ever count out because you never know what Destinee Maree is going to do next, as said by my mother. You never know what you're going to do next. And I just believe that so many people are not tapping into their fullest potential. And so I try to live out loud every day and tap into as much potential as I can to go as far as I can and use all the gifts that God gave me. So first and foremost, Destinee Maree is God-fearing.
Period. Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
So you said you are a dreamer. Mm-hmm. When you said that, that stuck out to me. Not everybody dreams.
No, they don't.
I talk to people and I say, what you be dreaming about? Like, what you want to do in life? They be like, I don't know. And I say, well, what do you dream about? They be like, I don't know. I don't dream. And I'm like, that's unfamiliar for me.
Yeah. No, you have to dream. I mean, especially with everything that's going on in the world, if you only seen the world as it is, then you are selling yourself short of what the world can be for yourself and for the world. So you have to dream. You have to think it before it exists. So, yeah, I'm always a dreamer.
Tell me one of your dreams that came true.
Oh, my gosh. One of my dreams that came true, I started this little tiny Instagram page that I was just hoping I get a couple of views on, tell some messages, inspire some people on any given day. And then it just blew up to inspire many people. And I'm so grateful for that.
Okay, so before we get into you being this top-notch influencer with your messages and with your bold, trendy fashion outfits and with your hats, looking beautiful and
Thank you.
Gorgeous. What did you do before that?
Oh, my gosh. What did I do before this? I did say I was a dreamer, right?
Yes.
I had multiple dreams. I started out very young. At the very beginning of my life as a singer-songwriter. I'm a singer. Yes, I'm a singer.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Singer-songwriter. And that kind of morphed into writing messages. Because, music and songs are just messages with melody.
For real.
So I started out writing songs, and then for a brief moment in my life, I was unable to sing. due to the ramifications of illness. So I kept writing those songs, and then they stopped having melodies, but they started having more meaning.
Okay, so throughout your singing career, let us know some of the things that you have done, please.
I am.
Because it's a nice list.
It's a nice list. They always tell you not to compare your career to anybody else's because we all have our own path. I used to do that early on, but looking back, I'm so grateful for all the opportunities that I've had and I continue to have. Among those, I've been most frequently an opening act for a lot of the artists that we know and love today, such as Tank, Patti LaBelle, Tamia,
The
John
greats,
Legend.
the OGs.
Yeah.
The ones that paved the way.
The ones that paved the way. I've been an open act for a lot of those wonderful artists. I've got to breathe their air and learn some things from them.
How? How did you do that? Because, and I'm asking how because I'm a girl who had big dreams too. I'm a dreamer. I'm still dreaming, but I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. We don't, opportunities do not pop off as often in this area as in Philadelphia and New York and Cali and, you know, things like that. So for anybody that was from my area who was, you know, in entertainment, a singer, actor, we had to put in double, extra, quadruple the work.
You sure did.
So how did you break into the industry? I know you're in Philadelphia and it's more, you know, familiar, but how did you break into the industry?
Well, I'm going to answer that by giving you a very quick story, and it kind of encapsulates my entire career as a whole. So when I was about, well, I'm not going to say how old I was, but let's just say about 20 years ago.
Okay.
About 20 years ago, I'm sitting at this new job I just
You
started.
was 5.
Yeah, I was 5.
5 working at your new job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they allowed you to work at 5 years old. I was working at this new job. And so, you know, when you get a new job, you're on a probationary period. I was very actively pursuing my singing career at that time. But, you know, you got to pay the bills, and it wasn't paying the bills. So my mom calls me one day, and I'm sitting on my lunch break at this new job where I have 3 months probation. I have to be back to work at a certain time. I can't miss at all. It's very strict. And my mom goes, Dee Dee, that's my nickname. She goes, I submitted your tape to the Steve Harvey Hoodies Award competition. And I just submitted it because, you know, if you make it to the top 4, then they'll fly you to Vegas and you have an opportunity to win $10,000 and you get to meet Steve Harvey. And I specifically remember sitting in the parking lot talking to my mom on the phone. I'm like, Mom, could you imagine? And that's a very important thing because I literally said out my mouth. I'm like, Mom, can you imagine if we make it on the radio just to compete? Because the first 3 rounds of the competition is just you on the radio.
Okay.
I just wanted to be on the radio.
Right.
Forget going to Vegas.
Yes.
I just want to be on the radio. So I'm like, Mom, can you imagine all of us here in Philly hearing me sing to Steve Harvey on the radio? And she was like, well, I submitted it, so we'll see what happened. Fast forward, the very next day, my mom calls me. She's like, you're not going to believe this. You're going to be competing on the Steve Harvey the awards. I forgot the name of the competition, but the radio portion. And then you have an opportunity. You have to get votes in, and then eventually the people who make votes, they go to the next stage. And so I'm like, well, what time do I sing on the radio? It's a morning show. I'm working in the mornings at my new job. So my mom goes, they're going to call you with all the particulars. It's in your email. So I'm on my lunch break, second day at work, and I'm scrolling through the emails, and it says, okay, Destinee, this is my number. It was the show producer, I think Kirsten at that time. I think that's her name. And she goes, we need you online at 8:30. The show starts at 9. The competition is 9:30, but we want to secure all the talent. And so I'm like, well, how the heck am I going to sing? Well, can you just tell me a time I'm going to sing live? I'm emailing her. Can you just let me know a time I'm going to sing live? Well, you have to hang on the phone for at least an hour. We don't know where we're going to put you. I do a customer service job. I'm on the phones constantly. I'm in queue. So
Outbound or inbound?
Both. I do both.
Oh, shoot.
I do both. Mostly they call in, but if I have to give information about follow up on their documentation.
Got you.
But it's mostly inbound. So luckily, I had gotten to a call center where the seat, for some reason, that they put me in, the phone was faulty. So if you wiggle your foot a little bit, the phone line would just drop the call. That's a very important thing to mention. So I'm looking at the call time. This is the day I'm supposed to be on air, and I'm looking at my phone, looking at the time, and calls are coming in. I see how many in queue. I got 20 calls in queue, and when it was time for me to hang on for 8:30, that call came through, and my foot accidentally
Hit that cord.
hit that cord, and I came to my supervisor. I'm not really feeling really well. I got to go to the bathroom. Can I, I'll be back. And I knew I was going to get in trouble, but I was at least at work because you can't miss work.
Right.
So I go into the bathroom, and I'm sick for at least an hour. And I got to compete and sing. I went to the bathroom, went down to my car, and I sang. And when I ran back, it's a live taping. So when I ran back, I heard people in their cubicles saying, which one you going to vote for? What about number 4, number 2? And I said, you guys should vote for number 2 because she's from Philly and she can sing. And they didn't know they was talking to me. I had just auditioned downstairs in my car, and we went back into our queues. And so everybody's voting. And I was talking to all the people at the call center. We would listen in between calls. And I'm like, are you guys voting? Like, we need to vote for the Philly girl at least. But I couldn't tell them. First of all, I was new at the job, so nobody really knew me like that. And I was just like, this is the only girl from Philly. Like, why would y'all vote for anybody else? She hit the high note, didn't she? Hit the high note. All right, we're going to vote for the Philly girl. So later on that night, I get off work, and my mom, my sister, my street team is my mom and my siblings. And we are all constantly refreshing the page and voting for a long time. So the voting closes at midnight. And when I woke up the next morning to get ready to go to work, I refreshed the screen, and at 7:30, it said I was one of the top 4 contestants, and they was flying me out to Vegas.
That story is freaking crazy. If that isn't a
dreamer
testimony story.
Yeah. But it's like I said, when my mom first told me about it, and I said, Mom, can you imagine? I didn't shut it off. And I think that's important. I know this is going to sound a little woo-woo, but you know who you invited on your podcast. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let y'all know the secret.
Please.
You have to dream. Your words mean things. They
tell them,
really...
Tell them out
which
there.
Can?
The middle one.
Listen.
Oh,
it's you. Okay. Your words
Sorry.
mean things. They really, really do mean things. If you don't believe nothing else that you hear today, trust me when I tell you, if someone says that you're going to be great, say thank you. Don't say, oh, no, I'm not really that good. The universe hears both ways, whatever you want to call it. I say God, both ways. So when my mom came to me and she told me that she submitted my tape, it was my MP3, to Steve Harvey, and it was tens of thousands of other entries, I did not shut it down. I was just like, Mom, can you imagine when people in Philly hear us on the radio? And that's important. You don't shut it off. You don't have to have a lot of faith, but you have to have some faith. You can't shut it down, because I could have instantly told her, Mom, who gonna pick me? I don't sound that good. And I did have those thoughts, but I refused to say them out loud because your words do mean things. So we started this conversation. You asked me who I was. I'm a dreamer for that reason, because I've seen it. I know what God can do. I know what your words can do, and I know what you can do because I've done it, and I'm no more special than anybody else. I just refuse to fail, and I always dream, always.
What? Oh my goodness! Like I told you, we was gonna drop some jewels today, y'all. Mm-hmm. I'm like stuck for lost for words, because that's my motto. That's my. Mm-hmm. To me, you have to change the narrative. First of all, you can control the narrative. That's one of the things that I really like about what I have done in my life, because what people don't understand is I control the narrative of what I want to do, even if it's not happening yet.
Yeah.
I'm controlling my life. I'm controlling the things that are going to happen in my life.
Yeah.
And that is based off of my faith. You know what I mean? That is based off of my confidence.
Yep.
And that is based off of my work ethic.
Yeah.
And that is based off of people like you sitting here on this couch telling stories of inspiration and motivation. I had to give up my modeling dreams in my early mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
And as I was talking to one of my other guests on one of my other shows, I was telling them, like, for me, when I started modeling, I was basically already at the cutoff, because when I was able to get out there, I was already like 20 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, oh, you really done. Your career is
you're
over with.
Granny at
For
20.
real. For real. You ain't marketable. Like, girl, go find something to do.
Right.
But that is just making me go harder. And guess what? I was 20-something then. That was like 20-something years ago, right?
Yep. Yep.
And I'm still not hanging on to that because I know any day I could get the call. Any day that call can still come through. I'm not letting those stigmas and those stereotypes tell me that, oh, you're not going to be able to do it. I don't even try to be a model no more. That's not even what I desire to do because I'm a dreamer too. So many of the dreams have come up and came into fruition.
Yep.
But because I am a dreamer and because I believe and because I got faith, the call still can come through.
It can.
I know the call can still come through.
It can.
I mean, don't let me log off. Wait till after this recording, so we're going to go check our phones.
Right.
The call going to be there. That call we waiting for is going to be there, G.
But can I offer you something that you just said? You said that I gave up my modeling, I guess, back in your 20s. And what I would like to offer in place of that, if we could swipe out that word gave up, you are transitioning, you're elevating what you wanted to, you're expanding what you thought your life would look like starting in your 20s.
What I did was this. Because I couldn't model, I had to go on to plan B because I had children. So I had to take care of my kids. So I went to college, you know, I found a career and I, honed in on that career and I elevated in that career. Outside of me having this podcast, I'm a licensed social worker. I'm a certified family educator. I have an empowerment program, Brand Role Model Society, which is a mentoring program for girls, which the mission of the program is to build and boost esteem through TV, fashion, photography, and modeling. So with the barriers, I just learned to pivot. And learning to pivot, things still aligned in my life.
They did, because this is what you said. You said you were modeling. You transitioned or expanded from modeling to be a role model.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a role model.
Yep.
So expanded. You got an extra word, put on that model.
There we go.
I'm just saying.
And then, now, in my latter years, now that, my children are grown, I have went through, the highs and lows. I have matured. I have realized who I was, as a person. I went back and I got those dreams and goals that I had to put on the back burner.
Yep.
So my Rebuild Your Life Planner, it sits right there. Those are one of the things, one of the tools that I developed because that's how I was able to elevate. I have to write things down. I have to write it down. I have to see it. I have to stamp it.
That's
and then
right.
I go do it.
I wholeheartedly believe in that. I mean, that's the only way it gets done. I'm a box checker myself, so I like to write things down. I don't know about you, but even in my personal life, when you are cooking and cleaning and you got chores or errands to run, for me, the things that get done are the things that I write down I can check off.
Yes.
So why not carry that same principle in your dreams and whatever goals that you set up for yourself? Why not write that down?
Listen, Mama need a new pair of shoes. I got to write it down.
I
gotta go to the mall. I gotta write it down. I gotta write it down.
I wholeheartedly agree.
You know what I mean? And what people don't realize, people who are dreamers, who are goal searching, who are, have that burning desire inside because you have potential and you're just sitting on it. You gotta start small. You gotta start small, but that box checking.
Yep.
Like
it
every
works.
time I check a box, I
works.
feel good, and I don't care if it was just.
Yeah.
I remember to go to the store and get the milk.
That's right.
If I checked it off, I'm like, whew, I did it. I don't got to worry about that no more. It is definitely, a stress reliever. It is definitely a confidence builder.
That's
more you check.
Yeah, why would you not, anything that you want to do, whether it's on a personal level with errands or if it's on a grand public level with your dreams, I think you should write it down. And I don't want to sound woo-woo when I say that, but for me personally, the things that I've seen and experienced in my life, I've made it plain and clear.
Plain and clear.
Okay.
Plain and clear.
So
now you done made it to Vegas.
I done made it to Vegas.
Steve Harvey Hoodie Awards. You singing. You're opening up for some of the greats in R&B, and take us from there.
Yeah, I was still singing. I did not win. I was in the top 4. I did not win the ultimate prize, but I got so much more because I did get to meet Steve Harvey, and the opportunities for that period of time opened up, whether it be becoming an open act for the larger artists. It started there because then you can identify yourself as the Steve Harvey girl, or
Right.
Even though I did not win the ultimate competition, there were millions of listeners around the country who heard me sing "Pay the Bells If Only You Do," and they know who I am. I went. The competition was at the all-white party that Steve Harvey hosts, and I was the only one in purple because, purple.
That's your color, purple.
Yeah.
Royalty. You represent that royalty.
Yeah. So I performed there, and like I said, the lots of opportunities opened up from there. And then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, the world had started shutting down in March. And by that October, I had gotten COVID. And I ended up losing my voice, my singing voice. And I had to do vocal therapy for 15 months. And it put me into a really dark depression. And I want to bring that up because it's important to my origin story for my social media, which is now my biggest platform that I've ever had, even with singing and everything else. So I lost my voice. I was terribly depressed. And I wanted to get myself out of bed. It was the small things. All right, get yourself out of bed, get dressed up. I've always been a very fashionable person, if you will. I love fashion. But, those days when a singer can't sing, what do you do?
Exactly.
The world has shut down. Before I had gotten sick with COVID, and, people were doing things online. You remember like the DJs doing the virtual parties, things like that.
Yep.
I had started like a little web series called Kitchen Concert Series, and I would sing a lot of, I would literally be in my kitchen dressed up, singing R&B and old school music, and in my mind, entertaining people who like that kind of music, giving them free concerts.
Right.
And then October came and I lost my voice. Actually, the day after I did my last kitchen concert, I lost my voice. And then it was just, it's been tumultuous since then. So I was having a conversation with my husband, and I was more or less trying to express that I was depressed. I didn't use those words, but when you know, you know. And I said to him, I think I'm going to pivot and maybe just start doing messages and posting stuff online. And nobody really got what that was. I didn't even get what that was, but I knew I needed something to get me out of bed. Like, creators have to create. So even though I was not able to sing, I was still writing music. I couldn't sing it. So I'm like, well, maybe this music can be messages. And it started out with me just doing it for myself. It gives me an excuse to get dressed up, to go outside, get some fresh air, and to pour into myself. And I just happened to have a microphone. That's how Destinee Maree Muse, which I just call Muse, started. And I did that consistently for about 9 months. And then one day I came home. Let me backtrack. When I was doing the messages, at first I was mouthing or lip singing other people's messages. It was starting to get really popular around that time. So Sarah Jake Roberts or other messages that I heard, I would memorize those and mouth those messages. And then one day my mom called me. She was like, why don't you use your own voice? And I thought, okay, well, I'll try that. So anyway, I did.
Mom is a creative.
Oh, my mom, yeah. Oh my gosh, she's the creative, still is.
Good. Yeah, like
that's my girl. So I was doing the messages, and then one day I came home 9 months later, and my phone just kept making noises, and I would look down at my phone, and it would say, "You have new followers," and I kept looking at it, and it made noise all day and all night. And my husband said, "Well, why is your phone making that much noise?" And I said, "I think my video's going viral." And he was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "I don't know, but I hear that when people's videos go viral, make a lot of noise." So I told him, I said, "Don't worry about it. It'll die down by the end of the week." What ended up happening was, it didn't die down for 2 months.
Oh my goodness!
And I remember specifically that my videos started moving in November of 2021, I believe, around that time. And I had prayed and written down. I said, if I can just listen. I don't want much. Just let me get 1,000 followers by New Year's Eve. Let me just wrap up this year with a good 1,000 followers, and I will be happy. Me and my husband were at dinner because we go out every New Year's Eve at dinner. And when I looked at my phone, I had 2,100 followers. The video continued to go viral all through January and all through February. I had 4 more viral videos that did millions of views in April. And by July, I had 50,000 followers. 2 months after that, I had 100,000 followers. And just that quick, one day, one video, followed by... One video gave me 10,000 followers, but then I was consistent. So I kept doing other videos, and in April of that same year, I had 4 videos go viral, over 1 million views each video. So 4 million views, or more than that, really. And it just moved so quick. And I told him, I'm like, oh, the night I thought it was going viral for a week, like I said, it lasted for months. And then people started reposting it, and Tia and Tamara Mowry started liking it, and Shirley Ralph followed me. One day, and this is a really funny story, I was still feeling a little bit down and depressed. And I had made a schedule for myself that every weekend I would get up and do these videos. I would do a week's full content in one day. I could pick Saturday or Sunday, but since I work 9 to 5, it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. And I would dedicate this time to make these videos because they uplifted me. And along the way, I guess, started uplifting other people.
Right. So
this one day I felt really down and depressed. And I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. It's cold, it's windy. I don't know what outfit I'm going to wear. I don't know what message I'm going to say. I didn't have a message. I normally have these things planned out and written. I had nothing. This is how down I was. So something said, like, just get up and go. Get up, get dressed, find an outfit, and just go stand at location. I never know where I'm going to be. I just drive around the city. Whatever building looks cute with my outfit, then I get out and I stand in front of it and I talk. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Just
that's what it is. So I get out the car. I don't even know what the outfit was. I put it together, but it was good enough. And as I'm setting up my camera, this girl walks past and she's on her phone and she's so loud. She goes, "Can you imagine? You would be surprised. You would be surprised." And I kept saying, "You would be surprised. You would be surprised." So then I thought of this message and I wrote it down. And the message goes, and this is important: you would be surprised how many people are so mad at you because they don't know what God has done for you. They keep wondering about what you know, but they forgot about who you know. And I point up to the sky, and that's it. That message on that day where I didn't even feel it. Not only it did 500,000 views, but when I woke up the next day, Miss Tina, Beyonce's mother, was following me and liking the video. And this is the day I wasn't even going to go out.
A day you wasn't even going to go out.
The videos that have gone the most viral are the days I didn't even feel like being there. Sometimes I have a cute outfit on and I can't wait to get on location. This was not one of those days. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to lay in bed. I wanted to eat French toast with extra syrup and butter. That's what I wanted to do.
That's what you wanted to do. But God said, mm-mm.
Yeah, but I started treating it like a job.
What is it about you? What do you think it is about how you handle yourself, how you handle your life, how you handle your affairs, that God blesses you in this manner like this?
Well, I like to say it's something as simple as humanity. And what I mean by that is going back to my days of singing and being an opening act. A lot of your friends and family are like, "Oh my gosh, you're opening up for this one or that one," and it's glamorous. But anybody who's been an opening act will tell you it's a very humbling experience. Mm-hmm. Because those artists that you're opening up for, they know you're not a star. They know you don't even have a song on the radio. How did you get here? You know, mm-hmm. You take pictures behind stage. They kind of phase you out the picture. They don't want you there. Like there's a pecking order, and mm-hmm. you know your place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know the artist in you wants to be as big as them, and it's very humbling to be treated like that. Number one, and number two, just think about the end of the night. Picture this: the end of the night when the concert is over and everyone has gone home, and everybody behind stage is wrapping up. And even if you meet the nicest celebrities, which I have. They go into their trailers and their large RVs and SUVs, and they're off to their next gig. Mm-hmm. I'm taking off my gown and my hat and putting on my sweats, and I'm getting ready for my 9 to 5 tomorrow, my customer service job.
Yeah.
And that's very humbling.
Very humbling.
So, you know, once you've done that so many times, then you can't help but to stay grounded, and I'm grateful for that.
Share with us maybe another experience where it was, you know, very humbling mm-hmm. or very complex or complicated, because we know God is blessing you. We can see you. You look very much blessed. You talk blessed. You sound blessed. And you have told us some very impactful stories that I feel like can definitely, you know, change my life for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go leave out here today with a whole new meaning on outlook, perspective, angle on the things that I'm dreaming about, the things that I'm waiting to come into fruition. You know what I mean? So you have definitely, you know, blessed me. Mm-hmm. But tell us a little bit more about that muck. We want to hear the muck, the grit. Steeltoes to Stilettos is about the grit and the grind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I often say...
Before the shine.
Before the shine. Oh, yeah.
The grit and the grind before the shine.
I often say that, you know, especially with social media now, you see a lot online where people are in these beautiful, long, flowing gowns. There's one picture in particular, the celebrity, I won't say who she is, but we've all seen it. She's standing in the middle of the desert. She has this long, flowing gown, and she's putting her hands up to God, and she's praying, and she's showing that she's worshiping God. And that's beautiful and glamorous. But if I'm being honest, as a believer, as a dreamer, but also as a Christian, obedience is not fun, and obedience is very hard, but it is so rewarding. So, left up to me, I would be on stages everywhere with my gowns and my hats on and singing and doing all my music and touring around the world. Me, my husband, and my dog, and my mom. We'd be all around the world. But I know, seeing what I've seen in being obedient in days where I didn't even feel like being obedient with the messages, getting up that morning and not wanting to be there, but treating it as a job. And I don't get paid for any of that. You know, I donate my time every weekend to do motivational messages. On top of that, I feed the homeless. And that came all out of doing those messages. But I would be less than honest if I said that sometimes doing the right thing doesn't always feel like the right thing. It doesn't always feel that way. And not because it's a bad thing. It's just I would rather be somewhere else doing something else with somebody else. But there's a brother I see on the ground and he's hungry. And I have food that I could feed him. So I got to go feed him. Because God gave me all of this. And God gave me many plates in my house. So I got to bring these plates to him and to them. And it feels good and it's rewarding. But again, I just want to really, really state that it's not glamorous. You're not standing in the middle of a desert with a gown on with your hands up, and then the Maybach comes, and then you're whisked off, and no.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah, it's some days you get off work. I work a 9 to 5. You get off work, you just want to rest, but it's like, no, I got to write these messages because I got to be back out there on the weekend. I got to make sure I got these sandwiches wrapped up and stuff in case along my journey while I'm filming, I see somebody who needs something to eat. Because see, I film a lot in the city, and there's a lot of homelessness that I don't think people are quite aware of. And I wasn't aware of it until I started filming out in the city. One day, and I'll be really quick. One day I was out filming, and I was in Center City, and across from me on the other side of the street, a guy was coming out of a building with a nice suit on, and it was a man laying on the ground and a Coca-Cola container. He stepped over the man with one foot, and he stepped over the Coca-Cola container with the other foot, and he kept moving. And in my mind, I said, he treated the man in the Coca-Cola container the same way, like trash. And I came home and I told my husband, I was like, do you know it's a lot of homeless people outside? And he looked at me because we've been together for a long time. So he knows once I pose a question, I'm going to find a solution. So when I came home and I was like, do you know it's a lot of homeless people outside? Did you know that? He's just looking at me. And ever since that day, I've made efforts to feed the homeless. I've worked in shelter. I don't do it often, but I that is a rotation in my life, being in servitude.
Right.
Where's this camera at?
Serving.
Is it you?
There you go.
Listen.
There you go.
Here's tip number 2 for the day. The first one I told you about is watch your words, right? And to be a dreamer and believe. Stay in the positive. Second tip, you have to be in servitude. You have to do something that is for somebody else that doesn't benefit you because it will benefit you. Mm-hmm. Now, that could be feeding the homeless. That could be maybe helping somebody out with their term paper where you really want to be in a club, but they home doing homework, so you got to help them. You got to cook for the lady down the street because her grandkids don't come by to see her, but she hungry and she's elderly, can't really move around. You got a plate. You got to go give it to her. It's servitude. It's when you're doing the things that don't benefit you, but it's going to help somebody else. I'm a true believer that those two things will set me places further than I could ever go any other way.
Yes.
Because I've seen it.
You've seen it done. You felt it. You've seen it. God has shown you over and over and over again, you know. And it's like, why change the wheel if it's not broke?
Yeah, that's right.
Why change the wheel? Mm-hmm. How do you balance? You work a 9 to 5?
I work a 9 to 5. This is my hats. I have my hat company.
So you have a hat company?
I do. And balance is a very cute word because it doesn't happen often. But you know what? I've learned in the almost 5 years that I've been doing this consistently that you will never find time. You have to make time. And me being a people pleaser, I have been that. I feel like a lot of people are on some level. I've had to learn how to cut back in order to give more.
Got you. That makes sense.
And so I cut back on doing a lot of things for a lot of people because, again, it meant a lot to me to help a homeless person. It meant a lot to me to be a boss baby, to have my own business. But it also meant a lot to me to be a present wife. It means a lot to me to be, I don't, like, again, I said, I have my stepchildren. I don't have any biological children, but I have so many children between my nieces and nephews. So being Aunt Dee Dee, you have to make time for all these things.
What's self-care? What's your self-care routine? How do you, you're so busy.
Yeah. Now
what
this
do
is
you do, or
funny.
how do you take time out for yourself?
So a large part of me cutting back, and I've only recently started trimming the fat and cutting back, is I like to do things in my solitude that clear my mind and that give me peace. So
Like what?
Listen, don't laugh at me, but there are some studies that back this up. I like doing granny activities. They say people who do granny activities have a better mental health compass.
What's a granny activity?
I'm gonna tell you.
I never heard of that.
So
I might be a granny. I don't know. I might be on
crocheting.
Okay.
I crochet hats and scarves for the homeless. That gives me purpose. I garden.
That is not a granny activity because I
Is
know
it not?
No, because I know designers who crochet bathing suits and
Well, I'm not
beanie
doing bathing
hats,
suits. I'm doing hats and scarves.
but for the homeless. So
Yeah. Also, I love the garden, and that feeds into taking care of myself. You talk about self-care. Self-care looks more than one way. So on social media, they get the little drops with the oil and they rub it. And then they put, no.
that's not
My
that's not it for
self-care
you.
consists of, I go to the gym, I work out.
Cool.
Which helps out with my mental health, but
Yeah.
it also literally helps out my body.
Physical. Yep.
I garden.
Therapy.
That's
Therapeutic.
therapy. You out there talking
Miss
to
Parker,
the plants and you in the
Jody's
dirt.
mom.
Right. But listen, it's true.
It's true.
It's true. And I love to cook, specifically bake bread. I like baking bread.
Ooh, how does that work for you? Because you say you work out and stuff. Like, are you like a person that like you stay away from bread, you stay away from the carbs? You don't.
Okay, so the health journey I'm on, my husband is not on. So I make certain foods for me and I make certain foods for him. Now, do I reach over the table every now and then and get some bread? I do. I bake the breads for him, but I also make myself like a gluten-free bread.
Got you.
It's not great.
you.
It's not good. But, we have our sacrifices. So just learn how to take care of yourself through nutrition, through solitude.
I love solitude.
Yeah, I've reading. I love reading. And every now and then, I in between my thrillers and whatever I like to read, you got to pick up the good word. Got to pick it up.
Sure, you got to stay close to the man above.
You got to stay close to the source. Yeah, that I'm not someone who's going to tell anybody that you got to pave the pavement every day with verse after. I'm not like that.
Me either.
Again, starting with my origin story, I am an R&B singer. I listen to secular music. I wear cute clothes. Sometimes they tight, sometimes they not. It just depends on what the vibe is.
I don't think.
But even in all
people
that,
start to get hypocritical and judgmental, and I don't think my God is not like that. My God is cool. I don't know what God they serve, but my God is he chill.
Yeah,
and he understands me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a constant walk, regardless of what I have on or what I sing or what I do. Like I said, I'm going to go feed the homeless. I'm going to go do things that I need to do in servitude of other people. It's a quote, and I know I'm going to butcher this quote, but it resonates so well with me, and I keep it in the back of my mind in everything I do. Be the type of person that plants the tree of which the shade you won't benefit from. And, it takes a long time for trees to grow. When you plant a tree, by the time it's big, you gone. And I'm constantly in my life wanting to plant trees, not physically, even though I just talk about gardening, but just doing things that I know that once I leave here, someone's going to benefit from it and things will be better in some way. Another thing about doing those kind things is, it's going to sound childish, but I do believe that a lot of the world's problems and how people treat other people is because they don't have hope and they feel like people don't care about them. Because could you imagine if the killer was someone actually cared for them and loved them and nurtured them? It would have to soften some edges around them.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I think.
For sure, yeah, because I believe, people who do these heinous crimes, they're not born that way, saying, I want to be a serial killer. Or I
but
something
happened.
Something happened,
and
trauma.
If you have people who show you that they care, and I mean, again, every case is different, but I believe that a lot of the problems in the world is because it's a world full of people who are hopeless.
If you're hopeless, you don't really care about what happens to you because
you're okay. I have so much fire in me and so many dreams in me because I know what it feels like to feel the sun. I know what it feels like for people to care. I know what it feels like when you get up on stage and people are excited to see you. So I'm always want to sing because I know what that feels like. When you haven't had access to those places, then maybe you won't dream. Maybe you will be too old to sing. Maybe you will be too whatever. That's not me. I've been there. I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. I know what I need to do to get there. And so I'm always going to be pursuing that good because I know the good is there to pursue.
Yeah, and that's just, like the saying goes, you have to, meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Or you do not know what somebody else is, going through. Sometimes we are quick to judge someone on their actions today or their behaviors today.
Yeah.
But, when you are into people and behaviors, you learn to, remove the layers and look deeper and you start to understand people at a different level. And I think that's another thing that needs to be taken into consideration.
It's a level of empathy that you get through experience. You don't have to know how it feels for someone to treat you mean. You just have to know how it feels when you are being treated good.
Right.
If you don't have that, just imagine someone treating you good. Use your mind to think, well, what happens when they don't treat me good? And I carry that with other people. So when everybody is showing me favor, I think about the person who's not having favor. Because if you don't feel this good, then I feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry for you. Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to use your mind to think about the equal opposite of everything. And that's what I do.
So you are just a shining light.
I'm trying.
A shining light. You shine with your personality. You shine with your outfits. You shine with your voice. You are shining with your messages. What is next for you?
Well, I'm constantly dreaming. So what have I dreamed of recently? I want to expand my business. I want my business to continue.
Business?
Yep, my hat business to continue.
Give them your
growing.
information for the hat business.
Yes.
Because, hats are in there. And you got that. That's not the original. That's not the hats that the people wearing these days.
No.
This is different. This hat is this hat is given.
Very much with my dreamer personality. I wanted to have. Thank you. I wanted to have a hat that someone would look at it and know that it was unique and that you didn't just get that out the store.
And did not.
So I actually drew this hat, and I found a manufacturer, and I said, "Can you make this hat with this wide brim, and can you make it in this color scheme?" I picked out the colors because even if you could find a big hat, by chance, you couldn't find the color scheme.
Right, yep.
And anybody who's into hats, that. The colors is limited. It's the same black, cream. And, in a world full of beige, I like purple. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to figure out how to make this come to fruition. And it started out with me manufacturing it for myself so that when I do my messages and have my outfits, I'll have this very unique hat that's my trademark.
Yes,
but then I started wearing it, and people said, well, where'd you get the hat from? Where can I buy it? And I thought, maybe I should start putting these to production and selling them. And by the grace of God, they're doing well. Yandy from Love and Hip Hop has worn it on last year's season. Montel Jordan has a hat. Fantasia Barrino has a hat. So I hope many more people have my Halo hat.
Halo.
And
that was my next question.
That's the name of it. Angel's Halo. My mom's name is Angel.
Okay.
So it's named in honor of my mom. She loves it. And you could get the hat at sparklelux.com. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You did not.
I'm sorry. Angel's Halo hat at sparklelux.com. Outside of that, I actually want to continue to pursue my music.
Your
Now,
music.
again, going back to what you said
Yes.
about things different in your 20s than they are now, I want to pursue music in a way that I want to pursue it. I want to make music for those who want to hear it. There is an audience for that. I know it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And so it's within my reach, and I'm going to continue to reach.
Period. And we here at Steeltoes to Stilettos will be waiting, supporting,
Yeah.
and loving on you. I am extremely grateful, gracious that you have come down here, and you really blessed us. You gave out some jewels. I was sitting here trying to bring them back so I can
Right.
run them back down again, because I wanted to run them back for the people, because you
Right.
you kept dropping them. You kept dropping them. And if I could conclude with all the jewels you dropped, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Miss Destinee Maree, she is here live in person,
Yeah.
dropping jewels. It was wonderful. I've learned so much today. You have definitely been,
That's a blessing.
like I said, this a shining light. You
Thank
know what I
you.
mean? This a great ball of this inspiration. Your story was fascinating, and
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see what you. I can't wait to see how God blesses you next.
Oh, yeah.
Like what's gonna happen? You know, we grade rub elbows. We grade.
Oh, yeah.
We grade pray.
Right.
We grade say some prayers around this joint,
I love
because
that.
that's what it's really all about. Is you
Yeah.
know, staying prayerful, keeping the faith, believing in yourself, having
Mm-hmm.
the high confidence in manifestation, and creating
Mm-hmm.
your own narrative. Who was I watching? I was watching somebody on social media, and they was talking about manifestation.
Yeah, I didn't even notice what it was, and being a Christian, when I was first hearing about manifestation, I would scroll past it because I'm like, oh, that's evil.
It was
That's the devil's
you.
work. It's me.
It was you. I was
scrolling past it.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
the
it was
devil's
you.
work.
I was listening to you talk about manifestation.
But now that I know what I know, and there is scripture to back it up, it's not about manifestation. It's about staying in the light, doing it the right way. And I've been manifesting all along. I didn't even realize it.
You didn't even
Going back to that
realize
Steve
it.
Harvey story where I said, can you imagine
Yes.
when they hear me on the radio? I was doing it then.
Didn't even know.
No.
When I heard you say that, it really, you know, it raised my eyebrows, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I had to tune in and listen to
Yeah.
what was your reasoning behind it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, because it was different.
Yeah.
It was different. But like you said, you've been doing it the whole time.
The whole time. I
time.
mean, down to the job I have, down my husband, my life, the things that I've really focused on. Can you imagine? I'm not saying I'm gonna have it. I just imagine it. Just see it in your mind's eye.
Envision it.
And I've been doing that my whole life. So I already know it's going to be good things to come. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm preparing myself and grounding myself.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
I have
yes.
no reason to
Yes,
not
yes.
think that's not going to happen. So many things have happened with just me and my street team, which is me and my mama.
So
I don't have no big team behind me.
But this you and your mama. Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Any last words for the people?
Yes. Okay. So to recap.
Let's go. Let's go.
Number one, we talked about dreaming. You have to make sure that you are dreaming, and if nothing else, don't say the bad words. If someone tells you that you're great, say thank you. Don't tell them all the reasons why you're not. Keep your words and keep yourself in the light. Number two, you have to be in servitude to other people. Now, I'm not saying you got to go feed a bunch of homeless people, but you see someone who needs something. It could be somebody in your block, an elderly person who might need you to go to the store for them or give them a plate. You have to be in servitude to other people. And the third one, this is the last one, so make sure you got your pens. As a dreamer, watch out for dimmers, because they go hand in hand. It seems like the people who know that you dream, who have that light, like to dim it. Sometimes it's the people that's right around you. You have to be cognizant of that. You have to know. And you don't always know. So you pray. I don't know what your faith is, but I'm a Christian. I pray to God and for discernment. You hear that? You might hear that a lot online.
Yeah.
Discernment. But if you are a dreamer, be aware of dimmers, because you got to move away from them. I'm not saying cut them off, but move to the left. Don't let anybody get in the way of your dreams, because they do happen. And guess what? They happen at all ages, and they happen at the perfect time, whatever that time is. Mine's is just happening now. February 18th this year, I just turned 40 years old. Things are just happening now. So it's not too late. You just got to continue to be a dreamer. Watch out for the dimmers. Be in servitude to people, and stay in the light.
She said it best, everybody. Miss Destinee Maree is here, Steeltoes to Stilettos. It's all about the grit, the grind, and the shine. I hope you enjoyed today's show.
This was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she said she doesn't talk, y'all. She doesn't do this, but she did. I can't tell. She was ready. She was ready, locked and loaded.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I want y'all to be ready, locked and loaded for this episode and many more episodes to come with more powerful, impactful influencers, creatives, visionaries. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the button. I will see you guys in about another week or two. Peace.